Continuing on with part 6, exposing the truth, everything you do not know but need to know about sharks and shark finning and shark fishing, and everything you know is lies, and it will be proven throughout this series. This is part 6. Be sure to go back and watch parts 1 through 5 in order, and the rest of the documentary. This one here, I skipped the first parts because it didn't really have any information pertinent. It was basically just images of whale sharks swimming around, but here it is like a third of the way through this, and the caption is, "A hole the size of a dinner plate is then cut through the top of its massive head." I need to point out that the hole through the top of the head is so they can kill it, so that it doesn't suffer, okay? So it says right there, a hole the size of a dinner plate is then cut through the top of its massive head. Now play. A rope is passed through the hole and the shark is secured to the side of the boat. It is then dragged back to the harbor, where it is hacked into pieces while it slowly dies in agony. That one was actually beached that they're cutting up right there that they're showing, but it did not whatsoever suffer while it was being hacked to pieces and brought ashore. It was dead when they cut the hole through the top of its head to kill it. And, you know, a single specimen can catch $21,000. Well, the freaking thing weighs more than 10 tons, so that's less than $1 a pound, okay? Due to the consumer demand combined with the rarity of this species, they're not rare, they're not endangered in any way whatsoever. And one of these bastards literally eats acres and acres and acres of valuable marine life that all marine life depends upon to live. It eats tons and tons, acres and acres of tiny shrimp, tiny marine life that keeps everything else alive. And like I said, every word, every statement, every image in every one of these movies is a blatant falsity, blatant lie, blatant deception, blatant misinformation. One of the biggest ones is that it's sold as a tasty, delicious delicacy. It is a medicine. It's medicinal. It has been for over thousands of years in Asian cultures. Some of them picked it up, like in China or whatever, picked it up in the Ming Dynasty, but other places in Asia, it's been medicinal for over 2,000 years. And it's used for hundreds, maybe even thousands of ailments and diseases. Everything from HIV, AIDS, immune deficiencies to cancer, arthritis, asthma, blood disorders. You name it, it's a miracle cure in Asia. But we in Western society have been brainwashed into thinking that killing sharks is so bad that we wouldn't mess with it. Before I continue on with more exposing every one of these videos and how every piece of footage and every word in it is lies, I just want to finish up a couple of the statements I made earlier and got sidetracked. There's just so much information and so many lies to expose. I jump around every once in a while without finishing my train of thought, but I got a couple of notes here. Okay, the bycatch thing, I started to touch on that earlier. That's one of the more popular lies of these anti-fishing fanatics, is that fishing for something causes all these deaths of all these other species. Like 100,000 sea turtles are killed, or 1,000,000 sea turtles. Like I said, the numbers vary from video to video because it's all lies and bullshit. But they say sea turtles are killed by shark finning and whatever else. One of the things you learn when you actually start learning about commercial fishing is there is virtually no bycatch, unless you're talking about some sort of bottom trawling, and even then the bycatch is virtually minimal. Professional fishermen who do this for a living are so good at what they do, not to mention the fact of how many thousands of dollars it costs just in fuel alone to run a boat for a day, that they don't waste time catching fish other than what they're targeting. And shark finning is done with long lining. It is not done with any sort of nets whatsoever. And even though nets have a very small bycatch rate that is completely lied about and blown out of proportion by anti-fishing fanatics, the shark fin industry has a virtually zero bycatch. Virtually zero. They're there for sharks. Sharks are the only thing they catch. They do not catch hundreds of thousands of sea turtles or dozens or whatever you're told. There's virtually zero bycatch with shark finning. And predominantly the bycatch is species of sharks that are not the fin species. As I said, there's many types of sharks. Something like 93% do not have a urinary tract and absorb their piss through their body and excrete it out their skin. That's why the meat is unedible to human beings. It's also why it is not wasteful to discard the body. Going back to that again, also, when they say that they're just cruelly wasting the body by throwing it over after they've taken the fins, the body is unedible, the meat is unedible, it's worthless, it's unsellable, it's unedible to human beings. But it's not just wasting it. 9 out of 10 of those sharks are consumed by other sharks before they ever even hit the seafloor. And within 24 to 36 hours, they're completely 100% consumed by crabs, shrimp, organisms in the ocean other than sharks. But most of the sharks that have been finned, had their fins removed and been discarded, have been consumed by other sharks before they ever even hit the seafloor. Let's see what else here. Like I said, I got a couple notes here just to finish what I had touched on earlier. Okay, the lies I exposed earlier about how they say, like I said, the facts vary from video to video because they're all lies, but some of them say that 90% of the world's sharks have disappeared in the last 10 years. Okay, first of all, sharks on all species are healthier today than they have ever been. And they are much healthier in the last 10 years than they ever were prior to that. There is only one species of shark on Earth, and you're talking, or you're listening to a marine biologist right now, so you may want to pay attention to what the fuck I'm telling you. But only one species of shark, one known species of shark on the planet, has had any decline in numbers in any way, and that is actually twisted information because of the following. The only species that has declined in the last 10 years is one species of reef shark. And the reason they declined had nothing to do with fishing. There is no commercial fishing or shark fishing in this area. It's an actual preserve where no commercial fishing is allowed or takes place whatsoever. But the reef, due to a natural disease having nothing to do with mankind, the coral has been dying and bleaching out and dying on this one reef. So with the coral dead, all the fish and the life that was living there moved off, so the sharks simply moved off. They weren't overfished, they're not extinct, they're just not on that one reef anymore because the coral reef died. And also, the coral reef dying has absolutely nothing to do with fishing or anything to do with human beings. It's sort of like the HIV virus for coral, or, you know, what's that nasty African? Ebola. It's like the Ebola virus for coral, okay? It's not man-made, has nothing to do with mankind. There's nothing we can do about it. We didn't cause it, we didn't create it, and we can't cure it. But there's a disease that's affecting coral on a few reefs around the world. One reef was decimated by this coral disease. The coral died, all the marine life ran away because there was nothing there to keep them there, and the sharks simply moved off to greener pastures. They didn't disappear. So that is the only known species on the planet of the fucking globe of Earth that has declined in any fashion in the last 10 years. All species of sharks have improved dramatically in the last 10 years. It is now, just like whales and seals, becoming an epidemic overpopulation problem because of the lack of fishing for them. It's almost at 9 minutes here. I have to stop again, continuing on with part 7. Be sure you go back and watch the first parts 1 through 5. This was part 6. Watch them in order and watch this whole documentary, and it will prove everything you have ever seen or been told or think you know about sharks and finning is a lie.